Good morning.
Good morning.
As you guys join the call, your videos will be turned off and you will be muted. But while we get everyone loaded, feel free to turn your video on and your audio on and say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Will, how are you?
Hi, Will. Good to see you. We miss you.
Yes, nice to see you guys too. I was able to get that app working, so we're in good
Good.
shape.
Oh,
Good
great.
deal.
Oh, good. And is it Angela?
Yeah.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, guys.
And Angela Hyde, and we've got two Angelas.
Oh, hi, Angela. Hi.
Hi there.
Yeah,
And Lisa Bella.
look who that is.
Oh, that is not Heidi Parsons. That is not Heidi. That is Travis
Hey,
Parsons.
Travis. It's a deal.
Nice.
Got a
Christy
bunch.
Putnam. Hi, you guys.
Hello.
Chuck Butler here.
Marie.
Oh,
Good
lots of-
morning, everyone. Looks like there are still a few people that are trying to jump on, and once we get them in the room, we'll get started.
All right. Awesome. It's just nice even to see little square pictures of you guys. I feel so social right now.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I think it's a wonderful way for us to connect. Well, we can't connect.
I agree.
I agree. Well, we're going to try to do them weekly, you guys. So even if it just becomes a social coffee hour, we're good.
Hi, Haley.
Let me turn that light off.
Yeah, good.
Hey, Chuck,
Hey there.
Mary.
All right,
All right.
how we doing, Court?
Yes, well, I will continue to admit people as they come in, but we certainly appreciate you guys being here with us today. For those of you that joined us last week, we talked about Instagram. Today, we're going to focus on coronavirus and your next 90 days. And as Joe mentioned, in the weeks following, we'll have some more topics for you guys. Hopefully you can learn new skills and, stay up to date and in contact with us. So Rob and Jill will be doing a lot of content today. If you have questions, there's a chat button at the bottom of your screen. So chat at any time, and I will make sure those questions get answered. And all that we ask is before we get started, just mute yourself so we can try to limit the background noise as much as possible. And if for some reason you get disconnected, I am recording today's meeting so we can use that later and revisit it as needed. So I will let Rob and Jill take over and mute myself and enjoy.
Thanks, Court. So welcome, everyone. We're super excited. This is not how we normally do our Realtor classes, so bear with us. But we wanted to just, after the last kind of 3 to 5 to 6 weeks, we've all had to shift gears and kind of pivot what we're doing. And with you guys being, non-essential right now, we wanted to put something together that we thought would be really good for you guys. And as it says, your next 90 days, how to prepare your real estate business for after coronavirus. So really what we're doing right now, there's not a ton we can be doing, but whatever seeds we're planting right now are what are going to take bloom, maybe not even in a week or 2 weeks, but in a month, in 3 months, and 6 months. So my thing is kind of don't be a secret agent, and look at all of the different things that you can be doing right now so that you stay top of mind during this time by adding value and service and just staying in touch with your sphere of influence and clients. So that's where we're going to go today and what we're going to do. So I'll hand it over to Rob.
Okay. Hey, great to see all your smiling faces this morning. So I think we have 54 people registered, so that's awesome. We feel very privileged to be able to connect with you guys. So thank you for participating, and we just want to be able to offer you guys something that we hope you can offer to your clients. So what we're going to cover today is just kind of covering what people seek in chaos, why this could be a great opportunity for you if you show up in a certain way, and then what your next 90 days might look, and then some social posting ideas. So Jill and I are going to go back and forth. We've got quite a few slides. We're going to fly through a lot of them. We're going to sort of go back and forth. It's about 80 slides. So I'm going to start, and then Jill's going to step in, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth. So definitely post any questions you have as we go through, because we do want it to be interactive, although we are going to get out of here as quick as we can so that we can get you guys back to work. But all right, so let's go ahead and start. So this is a visual we thought was apropos for what things looked like before and then what happened to us. So we were just getting into the spring season, and as you guys know, that's in Michigan anyway, that's the busiest time for you guys and for us. And we're going a million miles an hour, and all of a sudden we got to stop. So we see people kind of falling into three categories, especially realtors. Those that are still trying to sell, those that are trying to adapt to this, those that are sort of don't really know what to do. And then those have basically just said, I'm just going to take a break and just wait for this thing. And once it opens up, we'll start going at it hard. So kind of identify where you are and where you want to be. Because what we know is that things happen in life, and it's really, it's 90% of what happens is how we respond to things. So one of the things we're really focusing on with our teams and our staff is, listen, we got to get people in the right place. So we're doing a lot of team building, and we're doing a lot of just basically personal development right now. So we know that the mindset matters. We know that morning is, this is not really a time to sleep in till noon. It's time to do the things that you know you've always wanted to do, but you really haven't had the time to do that. So I'll share with you a couple things that I've personally set up and Jill has set up that might just help you guys kind of start your day off right. So one of the things is just your calendar, and no matter what you use, the idea is you want to try to schedule things the day before or first thing in the morning so that you get your day going in the right direction. This is what I use. And basically, if you can see that, it just has the top 4 goals for the day. So just limiting, actually it says 3 on there, but just limiting what are the highest priority things, and then it's just a way to get into the right mindset with gratefulness and things that we want to enjoy to do today. And then different habits I have listed, and you can just create your own things that you want to just consistently do. And then just your to-do list is on the bottom left, and then on the right-hand side of that is just a reflection at the end of the day. So it doesn't really matter what you use. This is what I use. Feel free to steal that and do that. But time blocking for you guys, I think, is important right now. This is just an example of what you guys could be doing. And we're not going to spend a lot of time there, but whatever you use, just make sure that you pull it out and that you're consistent with doing a daily exercise with it. So
Can we go back to that just a second?
Yep, go ahead.
So, and 2 of the things that I think are important is, what are your income zone areas of things that you're doing in your time blocking, and then what is your exposure zone being of service? And right now, you guys, I think 90% of what we're doing, maybe not what Rob's doing, because there are a lot of refinancing, but for Michigan Mortgage, we're trying to think of everything that we can do to be of service to people. Where is that? What does that look like? And we're meeting weekly on who can we help, who's struggling, how can, all of those kind of things. So maybe breaking those 2 up is a really good way to get through this time, I think, really well.
And Jill's actually going to show you some examples of that here just in a little bit. Okay, so what do people seek in chaos? So the first thing, they want some context, like what is the meaning of this, and how is it going to affect them and their family? So that's kind of the first thing. And the second thing is they want someone or something to instill confidence in them. So you see a lot of these governors out there, and the good ones are instilling a confidence, even if they're cautious with things, they're instilling confidence in citizens. And on a micro level, that's kind of what we need to be for other people, and that's what you need to be for your clients if you want to stand out as somebody that, nobody really knows where this is going to take us, but we do if we have a base like feeling like, okay, there's got to be something positive about this. What is it? How does that look? And how are we going to come out of this thing? So we're going to share some actually very encouraging data here with you guys in here in just a minute. So the key is.
Sorry. Can you make your slides full screen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Perfect. All right.
How do I do that there, Court?
At the bottom.
At the bottom?
Oh,
Yep, at the bottom. Right. You have to do it right in PowerPoint.
Right, slideshow.
Okay.
Yep.
Slideshow.
And then click from.
From current slide.
Perfect.
There you go.
How about that? Is
All
that better?
right, Derek. I hope that's better.
All right,
Is that
thank
better, you guys? Sorry about that.
Rookies.
And we'll have your emails, and I will
Yeah, that's
email this PowerPoint to you guys. So some of those smaller things that might be check off lists and things like that, you'll be able to see and modify if you want to.
So let's talk a little bit about the opportunity that we have. And there's kind of three areas. First of all, do you want to take this as an opportunity? And what are you willing to adapt to? And what are some of the skills that you need to be able to develop to be able to be that which you want to be to other people? So just really quickly, willing, that just basically means ready, eager, or prepared to do something, become adjusted to new conditions. And then we thought this was kind of a good quote. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but rather the one most adaptable to change. And so this is an opportunity for us to change. Where are we going to go with this? And then the last thing is just that possession of the skill set. What do you need to be able to do? So we're going to have Jill start and just show you some communication things.
Yeah.
And
So, one of the few things that we can do right now, and we have time to do, is communicate and possibly over communicate. So what does that mean? So we're going to adapt and learn new skills. There's a phone right there. We all have our phones attached to us. And I know a lot of you have heard a lot of our presentations before, but what are the things that you can do right now, such as video, social media, and picking up the telephone? So one of the things that we hear you guys over the last couple of months talk about is, you want to do video, but aren't sure what to do. So right now is the perfect time to get started because you're not in your offices. People know that you don't have your marketing department behind you. They know that you're just at home. So why not videotape something encouraging? I mean, you could do an Earth Day thing. Angela, I saw you posted on an Earth Day post, and just a little something about Earth Day, and do a little video snippet and text it to some clients, or do something for your girls, your daughters, like friends, or just all kinds of things that you can be doing right now that are hopeful and encouraging, that have nothing to do with real estate, but just staying in front of people to be encouraging. So what are those things that we can be doing? And if not now, when? Many of you have talked to us about getting your CRM going right now. So all of those things, video, if you're not on Instagram, maybe you're on Instagram, but you've never done an IGTV video. So you can multi-purpose things. You could do a fun little video about something to have on your Facebook business page, or just to text someone or email. And then you can upload that to IGTV, which is very, very easy. And you guys, the way I learned how to do all of it was just like going to Google and putting in, how do I make an IGTV video? Courtney can attest to that. So many of the things that we do are just very rudimentary, but we just go and find, where that information is. So super, super important right now not to be a secret agent. And when Rob had that screen with which category of realtor do you fall in, I think that right now it's very important not to fall in the third category, which is just doing nothing right now because you feel like, well, there's nothing I can do. You have such an opportunity to do so many things, being a community advocate, showing up where things are needed, giving information about this kind of scary market or the upheaval and all of that. You can be the go-to agent where people are like, wow, they're very educated and know what they're talking about. And producing some of those. And like I said, it doesn't have to be with a backlight and professional video and a camera. People don't expect that right now. So it's the perfect time to be doing all these things. So show up, be in front of your sphere of influence. I thought this was a really interesting statistic. It shows that in 75% of cases, people look to one real estate agent. Only 15% of people interview 2, 8% interview 3, and 2% interview 4. So if people are looking for one agent, most people choose one agent. Where are you showing up? Are you showing up on Facebook? Are you showing up on a weekly email? Are you texting people? Are you getting on the phone and calling them? Where are you showing up for businesses that you used to go to and can't right now? How are you encouraging them and showing up in that space to help them? So I thought these were great questions. So you have questions, we can help. And I just like how they put this together. So as a buyer, is it possible to buy a home right now? People don't know. I had a realtor yesterday reach out to me and ask me, what can I do right now? Can I tour a home without leaving my home? Am I missing out if I don't buy now? And then on the selling side, can I still sell my house during COVID-19? Can I show my house virtually? How can I add curb appeal to prepare to sell? And that third one I think is so great because there's so many things you can be sending people about things that they can be doing to get their house ready right now. So it's really important right now that you be the person that is giving and maybe thanking. So both ways. Who are you thanking right now? Do your kids have teachers at home that are stressed out and don't know how to teach their kids? Send them a thank you note. You know, all the things that you're thankful for. People need inspiration and connection. So send cards and reach out. So anyway, the social posting ideas that we had, just fun things like on your Facebook business page, what's your favorite family board game? Here's our favorites. You know, and show a picture of what you've been playing and give people ideas. You know, are you doing a fun puzzle? Those are just simple things like that. These are a few of the ideas that we've had. Courtney and Sandra are so good about getting things together to communicate with people. So show us what your kids are doing to stay busy and expand their minds. We're doing this because what we're finding is people put in the comments and then they tag another friend and they're giving each other ideas through our posts, which is really cool to see. Another idea was a 5-week challenge to support our community. Week 1 was, you know, encouraging people to order takeout. Week 2, reach out to your child's teacher and thank them. Week 3, pick a favorite business on Facebook and leave a raving review on their page. That's so easy. Week 4, buy a gift certificate from a local business for you and your family to use later in the year. And the last one, shop your favorite retail store online and support them during this difficult time. And then if you can, take a picture and tag them on Facebook. Just an idea, Spring Lake Floral, I found out on Facebook because someone posted, I think it was Sandy Gentry, they aren't open right now, but they are doing delivery. So you can call them, give them your credit card. And then, so what I did is took a picture, tagged them, and like 6 more people called them so we're keeping them going during this time, which really is exciting to me.
And Angela sent us a chat and it's really good. She says, I keep saying if we are not engaging in real estate and engaging with our clients in Sphere right now, we won't be engaging with them after because we missed our chance to connect.
Great comment.
Absolutely. And I think, Angela, what's really important about that is I think people sometimes feel like, well, they're there when they need me, but they weren't there for the 8 weeks we were in quarantine. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of, oh, they showed up 2 days after quarantine was raised and they could sell my house. So I think those are really
great point.
great point. Here's like a work from home tool that I found somewhere and just repurposed that you could send to people. Support your local restaurants and then list your favorite restaurants that are offering takeout right now and tag them in your post. And you can do that on a Facebook business page, on Instagram, on a personal page if you don't have a business page. This was an example of someone, and I think some of you have also seen this on Facebook and have actually done this, but put this on their Facebook to any senior citizen or person. I can go grocery shopping for you. Our food bank needs things. So I had a shipped order delivered to our food bank at church so they would have that. So there's all kinds of things that you can get creative to be of service. And then just a couple ideas. We have a lot of questions about refinancing. So that's actually in our sphere of educating people and being of service. So think about what are the things that you can be of service in with real estate and answering those questions. So then we get more into some of the market and the housing crisis. And Rob, I'm going to hand that over to you.
Okay. So this is actually very critical so there's some pretty good indicators that we're going into a recession, but that does not necessarily mean a housing crisis. And let me show you the data. It's pretty impactful. So how has the housing market been impacted by previous stock market crashes? So let's take a quick look. So this is really interesting. If we look at, 3 of the last 5, and then one basically a neutral. So for 3 of the last 5 recessions, these show home prices actually increasing during those recessions. So the reason this is important is because if you look at 2008, the housing crisis actually caused the recession. Like that was the driving force of it. So obviously we did have some pretty significant reduction in prices, but generally speaking, that's not the case. And what you'll see is that it's probably not going to be the case in this one too. That's good news for your consumers, and your buyers and sellers, and for you, obviously. This next one shows annual home price appreciation. This also kind of shows, if you look at this right before the last recession, these were the appreciation of houses just before the main fall. And the reason that's important is because you can see that these were probably artificially inflated. And whereas in the last 6 years here, we've had pretty normal appreciation numbers, which bodes very well for a recovery of this. It's like, so because it was so high here, it's almost like logical that, yeah, it crashed very, very steeply when we had that recession. Well, here we don't have that. We have basic normal appreciation. So current unemployment rates compared to the past financial crisis. This is important because if you look at during the Depression, they were very, very, very high for a lot of years. Same thing with the recession in 2008. It lasted through 2013 with fairly high unemployment. And by the way, a lot of this, the housing crisis caused a lot of this, so it's kind of a byproduct of it. Whereas here, the projections are that, yeah, it's very high right now, but we know why. And the anticipation is going to carry into 2021 somewhat, but then it's going to bounce back. And these are from Goldman Sachs. So obviously they don't know 100% certainty, but that's a good indicator that this is kind of a one-off and it's going to be short-lived. So that bodes very, very well as well. So unemployment rates and home sales, so this is kind of important. Let me take you through this. They don't have a direct relationship like you might think. So you would think that as unemployment goes up, housing prices would go down, but that hasn't happened in the last 4 or in the last 3 recessions. So look at in 1989, we have increased unemployment, but we also have increased housing values. Same thing in 2000, we had increased home sales, even though unemployment was going up. And even in 2008, if you see here, they did go up for a bit. So home sales went up, they flattened out. So this is not values, this is home sales. They did flatten out. So that's really good news. So I think what you're going to see is while unemployment was very low and now it's going to be high, I think you'll probably see maybe a flat or if not appreciation. So, I'm sorry, home sales, not values. But that bodes very well for what we got going on as well. This just shows you what I already talked about, which is just the unemployment, what they expect to happen here in the next couple of years. So that's good. That's good news. This is a quote that I thought was worth sharing. This is a great recession for leisure, hospitality, trade, and transportation. And that this recession will feel as bad as the Great Recession did for housing. So remember, housing kind of caused the recession in '08. Well, this is more of a byproduct of it. And what you're going to see here is the food service industry that's where the bulk of the unemployment is. It's 50-some%. The reason there's not an exact number, it's moving all the time, obviously. And hopefully that's going to be opening up here soon. But it shows you where the unemployment's really happening. And it's the direct result, obviously, of the COVID-19 thing. But that is also good news, that it's not necessarily all around unemployment. It's very focused on where we're trying to keep people from getting sick. So look for this is a quote, again, bodes very well for our recovery. Look for the peak of the housing market's annual cycle to be delayed, not canceled. So the peak for us, obviously, is in the summertime. That may be later into maybe September, October, November, or something like that, versus where it's normally is. This is important because I think what we saw in January, February, and we normally see this, things start really ramping up. Well, there was a lot of indicators that this was going to be a pretty good year for sales. And we think that there's probably a pent-up demand. Now, so this has been delayed. What we're hoping and what we think you guys are going to experience is that this pent-up demand, when things do open up, we think it's going to be really busy. So again, going back to what Jill was talking about, now is the time to really prepare and get ready because we think it's going to be a firestorm. So we hope that's the case. And this just last thing is another indicator that you don't see these very often like this, like rapid decline and then rapid recovery. But because of why this happened, that's what Goldman Sachs thinks is going to happen, a V-type recovery, whereas normally it kind of goes down, 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 up, 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 up. This is hopefully going to be short-lived. So we do not expect a repeat of the severe recession of 2008, 2009 because the virus and oil stocks are not endemic to the financial system, but rather external. Once the virus infection rate peaks, we expect the recovery to gain momentum into the final quarter of the year and especially into 2021. That's good news. Now, obviously they don't know everything, but most of the pundits are indicating this is going to be a fairly fast recovery. So we think that's all great news. Let me shift gears just a little bit, and then I'll give it back to Jill to.
Do you guys have any questions on any of that? Just anything specific?
Just
comments.
Just shoot Courtney something. Or we can unmute you or whatever. I do want to touch on this a little bit. So about the foreclosures and what's happening with that. We put out a couple different videos regarding the forbearance thing. I just want to touch on that very quickly because you as people's go-to agent kind of need to know how this works and need to be able to advise at least a little bit on this, or at least know where to get the information. So most of you know that the CARES Act had something in it that indicated that people were going to be able to get forbearance on their mortgage payment and not have to go into foreclosure. So they passed that first, and then they passed some more details on how that's going to work. So again, that's part of the CARES Act. The big thing that we're trying to focus on is that forbearance does not mean forgiveness. And that's kind of been out there in the public on social media. Initially, it was people kind of thought this was going to be a freebie. Hey, I don't have to pay my mortgage payment for 6 months. up to a year. The problem with that is they're going to have to pay the piper at some point. It's just kind of kicking the can down the road. Basically, what's going to happen, they have to contact their mortgage servicer, and then after
It looks like Rob and Jill may have had some
going to pay 6
issues.
months that I haven't paid now. And that could be a big problem for people. If you look at the numbers, you've got 6 months of payments, up to a year of payments, where now they either have they're not going to go into foreclosure during that time frame, but afterwards, if they can't make the extra payments, they might have to go to foreclosure. And the credit piece is, while it's not supposed to negatively affect credit, most of you know when we go to do a refinance, they pull credit and you have to prove that you made your mortgage payments.
Rob, I don't know if you can hear me, but it appears that you guys are having a little bit of internet issues. You kind of are cutting in and out. So I think some of the information on forbearance that you have shared may have been missed. And while we wait for them to kind of join us, I know because we have done so much on forbearance, specifically on social media and in our videos, that I can talk on it a little bit. Obviously, I'm not as knowledgeable as Rob and Jill, so bear with me. But we really have tried to hammer home that forbearance does not equal forgiveness. And what we're seeing is that although you can kind of skip, per se, your mortgage payments for 6 months, what is happening is when that period is over, these servicers are now coming to their borrowers and saying, okay, you now owe us the previous 6 months plus month 7. So for most people, if they're laid off and they can't make their mortgage payment, they probably don't have that large lump sum when their forbearance is over. So of course, they go back to their servicer and say, well, can you work with us? What are our options? And the next option they're giving them is tacking that onto their monthly payments. So then their payments may go from $1,500 up to $2,000 to kind of offset all of that money they didn't pay over the course of 6 months. So again, that doesn't put our borrowers in an ideal situation, because they're just coming back, they got their job back, and of course now their monthly payments are incredibly higher. So there's just a lot of misinformation out there, but that is one of the ways us as lenders and you guys as realtors can focus on that education piece and drive that home, so people are turning to you and viewing you as the expert when it comes to things that are a little bit more difficult to understand it and maybe have some misinformation out there. Let me text Rob and Jill to see if they're able to get back on. And while we wait, is there any questions you guys have? Obviously as marketing director, my forte is social media and Facebook and Instagram. So while we wait, if you have questions on those topics, I'm happy to help. And I know Haley's on here with us too. So if you have questions related to what's happening in the mortgage world and what changes we've made at our business, I'm sure she's happy to unmute herself and answer those too. And yes, Will, I will make sure to email out the PowerPoint and make sure you guys have access to that. All right, I'm hoping they join us soon. Okay, well, we're going to improvise. So I have their PowerPoint. So let me share my screen with you and we'll see if maybe I can finish this out. Okay, can everybody see that? Oh, Rob, are you back?
So yeah, we had to have a little chat with the rest of
My
our
daughter was on
household.
a Zoom call, my son was on a call, and her boyfriend was on it. Yeah, we had to kick everybody off. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All right, well, I don't,
Probs.
yes,
Okay.
I filled everybody in on some of the forbearance versus forgiveness information that
Perfect.
fuzzy. So if anybody has questions, obviously Rob is back and he's the expert, so ask away. But Rob, if you want to share your screen and take back over, that'd be great.
Yep, and I'll
Thanks,
I'll
Mark.
just skip that part of it then, unless anybody has any questions. So it's trying to launch my screen, hopefully. Oh, please.
Looks like it has shared, so if you can bring that PowerPoint back up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying.
Oh, yeah, it is shared. I gotta find it. Fun. Okay. Let's go to, I think we're to Jill now. Let me just get that down. Okay. What's that?
Keep going. Wait, stop, go up.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, I
Okay, now
just,
do the full screen.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, full screen is where, Jill?
Right, and that's in the way. Slideshow. Click on slideshow.
And then from current slide.
Yeah. Right here.
Okay. So just, there's a great video that Amy from our office did just regarding this. So you can check it out on our website. And then this is another post that we put out there, just talking about a little bit about the forbearance and what that means to you guys. So we're going to finish up with just the 30-day action plan, and I'm going to swing this back over to Jill and let her finish up.
So basically, you guys, it's 30 days and then it says rinse and repeat. So it's basically a 30-day plan. Then you redo the 30-day plan and then redo it again. So it becomes your 90-day plan because there's only so many things that we can be doing right now. And so I just wanted to reiterate that the little things that you're doing now that may not even seem that significant and you think, is this even helpful? Yes, you're planting those seeds. So clearly over the next weeks and months and years, things come to fruition. And in doing that, you're serving your clients in sphere of influence. So this was just a quote that I saw. Turn your blog page into your homepage. Work up half a dozen timely, relevant posts answering the most pressing questions consumers have. This is the content clients and people need more than home search information or even community information. Right now, there's so much misinformation. Be the one person that they know they can trust. One, because you're bringing them information that is local and timely, and you don't have to have a blog to do this. You can get information from National Association of Realtors or WIMLAR or whatever viable source you have and repurpose it so that you can put that out there to your sphere. And it's very, very important right now. So if I can reiterate anything, it's that content. They want answers to the pressing questions right now. So keep that in mind. Many of you have CRMs and many of you don't have CRMs. And if you think of a CRM, it's a contact relationship management system. It's relational. So right now is the perfect time to, whether you do Realty Juggler or, oh my gosh, there's so many different Lion Desk. now is a really good time to pick a CRM. If you already have a CRM, it's a really good time to put it into sections and get it organized with your buyers, your sellers, your past clients, and then your plan. So by segmenting those groups, like at Michigan Mortgage, we're able to take really small subsections of things. So I think we sent out an email to some people about forbearance because it didn't make sense for some people to send that out to, or we sent something out on refinancing and what the new employment with unemployment and employment verifications, and we only sent it to the people who really needed to have that. So it's a really good time to get those systems in place. So if any of you have a CRM that you're utilizing that you love, will you share that in your comments and let people know, because it's a question I get frequently from realtors, like they're just paralyzed because they're just not even sure where to begin. So let me know on that. Call your past clients and let them know, hey, it's Angela, this isn't a real estate call, and just, I just wanted to see if there's anything you need. Do you need prescriptions picked up? Do you need any help with groceries? Just the things that they may need, especially if you have elderly clients and things like that. Text messaging your past clients, and I know a lot of you are doing this, sharing recent federal, state, local news. Hey, so-and-so, I wanted to check in and hope you and your family are doing well. I've been lining up virtual meetings to answer questions, would love to meet with you. The virtual meetings are great. These Zoom meetings, we do them all the time, and it's just a great way to stay in front of your people and have that conversation. Housing market updates, if you have current clients right now, or if you have people that want to buy or sell in the coming weeks or months, make sure you're getting in front of them. And even if you have an article from a source, text it to them instead of emailing it to them, because they're 100% open rate with texting, and email stuff just kind of can get lost. And then offer education, make a phone call, and offer those same things. And those are basic things, but I would time block those right into your days each day and each week. So right now is a great time to embrace technology if you haven't, or if you want to try some new things. Consumers are expecting technology right now. 33% of home buyers wish that their agent had leveraged technology to better streamline the process. So this is a survey that's done after the home buying process. So I thought that was very interesting. It's a large segment. One of the things that we do is we give our realtor partners this app, which is co-branded, so it's their app too. And then they're able to provide technology to them and ways to stay in touch and ways to look things up and be doing things so that they feel like they have that instant access and ability to upload documents and do things that are very easy.
Real quick, so if you guys want any kind of training on that, we can do a Zoom call, or whoever your loan officer is with us can do a Zoom call and just kind of walk you through it. And that has actually been pretty helpful, so people understand how to leverage this tool and how to utilize it and how to best capture new leads with it.
Yeah, it's a great lead capture tool to keep people with you. So just an example, do you have time today to chat? I'd love to have a Zoom call, learn more about you, and see if we're a fit. This might be for a Zillow lead, or a lead that you get off of a sign or something where you don't have a bonded relationship with that person. Have a Zoom call. Adapting. I like this. This was something that a realtor had, and she just says, sometimes life doesn't wait for a good time to do a major life event, like move. Now more than ever, it's important to limit social gatherings. And then she just goes on to say, if you need to find a house in the midst of our current world turmoil, I can help while you stay at home. I offer a full suite of remote and virtual home showings, from video to FaceTime to 3D options. Contact me for assistance. So, make sure you're posting something like that once in a while so people know you're basically solving their problem and being an innovator. One of the things that we do is we try to offer, Rob did a budgeting thing because he's getting a lot of people who have more time now before they're going to go buy a house. So budgeting, you could do a budgeting call with someone. You could offer, a call on, these are the things that you need to do to get your home listed, those kind of things. So just coming up with video ideas and content ideas. This is just, I'm not super familiar with this, you guys, but I know agents who use this. It's called Aster Room 3D Virtual Tour. It's actually an app, and you can utilize this with your iPhone and I think Android. And basically, it's a panel kit so that you can do panoramic things and come up with 3D versions of things. So if you had a home or had something that you needed to do, you would be able to do that. So that's something to look at. And then obviously it gives you that spliced view of the home too, so they can get an idea of the size and the rooms and everything. So kind of a cool thing. Let us know if you guys are using anything specific for that that's worked well for you. That would be great too. And you can just see it spins around and does that. I played with it a little bit, but I'm not great, but it just gives you a really nice idea of the rooms. Isn't that cool? And I know some of you are probably using something like that, but if you're not, that might be an option. You can show them the whole picture. This is Momento 360. I got this app too, and this is virtual tours. So just a couple different options of ideas you can do virtually. One, you could review properties, conduct a listing presentation, do a buyer consultation, review inspection reports with your clients. I mean, you could do that over a Zoom call, and writing an offer together. So we have a lot of refinance clients right now, and though it's optimal to be meeting, face to face, doing the Zoom calls worked out really well. And tell them a little bit about the positives of that.
The reason I really like the Zoom calls for pre-qualifications is we've got certain forms that we want to go through with them, the different loan types and the needs list and what not to do, those types of things. It's been really nice to be able to share my screen and walk them through it so that they can see it close up and I can see it at the same time rather than having being across from somebody. It's actually been very nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool thing to do. So some of the resources we kind of came up with, clearly Zoom is a great, you're all on it, so you can use it. So that's the upside. You can use BombBomb if you need to embed videos to send to people. Cloud CMA is a way to do CMAs really professionally. Some of you may or may not need that depending on your brokerage. Facebook Live is still the best way to get the most viewership on your Facebook and keep coming up in the feed. So it, search engine optimization kind of a thing. More and more people are going to YouTube. So if you do a video, you can upload that to YouTube as well. And we've been doing more and more of that, and that's been really cool. And then things like Keeping Current Matters, where you can send information to your clients, via social media platforms. So that's a lot of information. I know we went kind of fast, but we did want to kind of keep it open if you guys, for discussion or for ideas or for concerns that you guys are having. So in closing, just to kind of close up and then we can talk and chat a little bit, really important to wake up in the morning and monitor your mindset. And I think one of the things is if you don't want to have a pajama day, don't put your pajamas on, put your clothes on, take a shower, do what you need to do, go into your office, close the door, get your time blocking out and get going and treat it like a business. Be of service, look for things that you can serve for your clients in the community. Work together with your, be talking to your appraisers, your home inspectors. We did a Zoom call with 6 different people, a title person, a appraiser, a inspector, Rob, a realtor, to kind of explain what's going on. So work together with the people in the industry. Do your time blocking. Remember that people are looking for context and confidence. Nurture those relationships. Be patient. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and be prepared. And then, of course, follow your health protocols, which you all are. So thank you so much for being here. This was one, sorry. I know, I know I talk too much, you guys. Well, this is just a great thing to keep in mind right now. This is from Fred Rogers. He said, when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. Look for the helpers, you guys, and be the helper so people are looking to you. So I think that's just really important. So
Yes.
questions or comments?
Yes, and we do have a question that came in from Angela. So her question is, what are you seeing with FHA buyers? Approved, but now don't qualify. Is it true they need 20% down now? There's just so much misinformation out there, so I'm not sure what is true.
Okay, so without getting too complicated with this, so what happened was when the government passed this forbearance thing, there's a whole group of servicers that panicked on this because they have to pay the owner of the loan regardless of whether the consumer is paying. So there was a panic that, oh my goodness, we're going to be out of business because we don't have the capital to be able to make all those payments. So if they weren't a direct Ginnie Mae servicer, which we aren't, and which a lot of places are, most places aren't, there was this fear like, oh my gosh, if that's the case, we're going to get stuck with all these bad loans. So they initially said, okay, we're not doing anything under 640 for an FHA loan. Now, just so you're aware, there are places that are still doing 640s. If they are a Ginnie Mae direct servicer, they are still doing under 640. Some of the credit unions are, so there are still places that are doing them. Right now, currently, today, we are not. However, I do think that that's going to open up fairly quickly. And here's why I say that is because between 640 and a 680 credit score, they hit that rate super hard. So the pricing was terrible. Yes, you could still do it, but it was like 3 or 4 points underwater just to do the loan. Well, that's actually opened up this week because there's some movement in the marketplace, and those loans are selling now. They should be fine there. So, make a long story short, you have to talk to the lender because I've heard some of the banks are saying we're not doing anything under 700, and we're not even doing FHA loans anymore. Right. That is happening.
I know Chase came out with that. Yeah.
So you have to. It depends on the lender, I guess, is the short answer to a really good question. I do think this is going to be short-lived. I think that you're going to see things opening way up again in the next week or two with regard to FHA. Right now, for us, FHA is fine. We can go down to 640. Below that, we can't. What we're telling folks is, listen, you're below 640. Let's get you up to 640. Or if we can't do that, we tell them there are some other places that might be able to help you. Or we say, listen, if you can't buy right now, we'll work with you and get this done for you as soon as it does open up, because we do expect it to open up. So long answer to a good question.
Does that answer it?
Yes, it sounds like it does. Another question, I know obviously Rob and Jill, you guys are big readers. So do you have any good books that you recommend that you're reading right now that maybe you guys can check out as well?
Yeah, that's a great. So what we'll do, we've been talking about that. We should just have a library of stuff out there, and we need to do that because we do read a lot. I don't have anything that comes to mind instantly.
But what was the habit? So we listen to a lot of Audible too, and of course it's just spinning right now because our internet's not great.
One of the best books I've read in the last few years is The Compound Effect, and we can send out a post to that. It's called The Compound Effect. Darren Hardy, great book.
Yeah.
And this one, it's what to post. I know, Jill.
Yeah, if you're looking for, and the other thing is, you guys, I'll put a list together of some places that you can go online. Chelsea Pietz, Pietz, she is a social media person that works. What she puts out is geared to lenders and realtors, more specifically realtors. So she gives all kinds of great ideas about how to utilize Instagram, what type of content, what to do. And that's the book that she wrote. And it's got really good information on it. It's on Amazon. It was an Amazon bestseller, but I'm a follower of hers. So I'll put some of those resources together too, and we'll brainstorm some books today and maybe even put a sentence of what is this about or what is this good for? I can work on that today and get it out.
Does anybody else have any more questions, comments, concerns? We're certainly here for you to help in any way we can.
Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on. Yeah, so we're here for you. Anything we can do, please let us know. Yeah, and we just gotta kind of all work together, right? So.
Yeah, and reach out if you have questions or need ideas, or even if you're thinking, yeah, I'd like to try a Zoom call, or I'd like to try to do something, but I'm not sure how to do that. We can help with that kind of thing. Or if you want to do a collaboration, anything, because we've got Courtney and we've got infrastructure for that kind of stuff. We can do some of those more fun, creative things too.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys.
We will post the recording to YouTube and obviously send out the presentation so you guys have access to that. And again, let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
All right. Thanks so much, you
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Take care. Be safe. Thanks.